This is Hemet West, an age-qualified community located in Hemet, California. It's on Florida Avenue, and here is the intersection with the Myers, which leads you into the park. These are monument signs that are currently there, and they're somewhat outdated and not really functioning as well as the owner would like. As you drive in, there is you see the main street. This is Myers Street. This is the guard shack. These are the horseshoe pits, and there's turf on either side of the facility of the drive. As you come in, there's an existing dog park that will need to be relocated. As you come in, then here's the parking lot, and in the distance is the clubhouse, which houses the offices, the billiard room, and the meeting hall. And as you walk in, there's kind of a main courtyard here that we would like to take advantage of. That's the main entrance to the building right back there. And as you can see, often people come to the site and don't know where to go. It doesn't say entry, and so that's something we will work on. You can see the parking lot and the palm trees in between the building and the parking lot. The grounds are really well maintained, and there's a lot of vegetation, which is great. And so we're trying to play up that resort feel. This is again the main entrance courtyard. Inside the dining hall. This is in the back. So in the back of the building, facing the lake, there's a wood frame structure. The whole clubhouse, all the buildings are wood frame. And this is some patio space that we will be taking advantage of. Another view of the patio space looking back. We call this the backyard. Back here is the ceramic studio. This is what we call the backyard area, which includes some seating. This is a shade device that we will be looking to replace as well. Just a close-up of the lighting that's currently there. And again, another look at the backyard here. They have some nice gazebos. The lake has been reduced, the water, in order to reduce the water consumption on the site. We will be looking to take advantage of potentially of these kind of alcoves as planters. Another view of the backyard. This is a view of the pool with the rocks mountain across the lake, and you can see why everybody wants to play up the idea of water. So with that, we'll go through the project here quickly. This is the site. It's 760 units. This is Florida Avenue, Myers, again with the parking lot and the clubhouse, and the lakes are right here. A view of if you can see the cursor, I'm going to follow my cursor going straight down because it changes. Here's Florida Street, and then along the way, this is all the Myers entrance. So what we're looking for in this area right here is to replace a lot of the turf with some drought-tolerant landscaping and street trees and palm trees, and extend that look over to this side here, where we would have a relocated dog park and the pickleball courts, along with a bocce ball court, and maybe some pavers or stamped concrete at a couple of different areas. The entrance, proposed entrance monument signage, this is what it might look like. These were some earlier options up here, but we're looking at this option here, which would really play up their resort feel, also play up the theme of the water. A quick schematic of what that could be, the general heights, and the proposed materials for that water feature and monument sign. Again, just some examples. We're going to be using some green screen potentially throughout the site, and in addition, here are just some precedent images of monument signs / water features. The entrance drive coming in from Florida down Myers, there is a guard shack that we would refurbish, nothing structural there, and then the lighting schemes for landscape lighting and site lighting. And there's some more information about lighting as well. So overview of the site, this is the area we have just discussed here. And now we will be going into the parking lot area, along with this here is the clubhouse and the shuffleboard building and the pool area in the backyard. The parking lot will receive new trees and potentially budget allowing. Some planters between the parking. There may be some restriping that has to take place. This is the existing parking lot right here. And then we would propose a new entry in front of that courtyard that would be more indicative of an entry to the building. This gives you a rough idea. So this would be new. Up on the roof, we would be looking at some parapet work that would screen the mechanical units behind and would tie the building in with the theme. A view then from inside the new proposed courtyard and a floor plan of the courtyard with a water feature. A overview of the clubhouse. So this is that courtyard. When you come into the clubhouse, there's a lounge. There is what they call the dining hall, multi-purpose room. The restrooms will need to be renovated to conform to ADA codes. This is what they call the game room or the billiard room. And then there's a conference room and a fitness center here. So the new proposal shows a new restroom design, mostly finishes in these rooms here and a lot of furniture relocation, but there's some work in the ceiling. Here is the entrance, the lobby. We would be looking for new counters and new ceiling lighting in the lobby and in that lounge. The restrooms, looking for a resort quality type restroom. This is the lounge, so some false beams in the ceiling that may also include some lighting. This is what that lounge room looks like currently. And this shows you the north floor plan. Otherwise, it's mostly finishes. They have a library up against the wall, and a kind of a hospitality center is being proposed. So this is the dining hall. The big change here is the ceiling is taking advantage of the slope ceilings and created some softened conditions with some ceiling fan and light fixtures in the middle. The billiard room, again, we're looking for some false beams that could maybe potentially have some light in them that would help light up the space. The arrangements of the billiard tables is still perhaps in question. There's some discussion about moving some spaces, but essentially these, what is currently the conference room and the fitness center may become offices. We may be just moving those around. This is the existing fitness center, and we may be potentially looking to have it relocated. More on that later. So the lighting scheme, just some ideas about lighting for that space. And again, now we're going to go into this pool area. So we are proposing to augment the pool with some additional hardscape for some seating, integrate the landscape around it a bit more. This is the pool area in relation to the lake. And it includes a new pool building, which would include a new classroom, a fitness center, and new restrooms at the far end of the building. We are proposing structurally built-in cabanas that could withstand the winds in hemet, and also have a shade structure that spans the pool, something like Roman shades, the vinyl. We have to look at the materials, but structurally that would be able to be held up and would hold up against those hemet winds. This is a view of the ceramic studio right here. This is the ceramic studio and a spa with a new structure covering the spa area. A view looking down the pool towards the new pool building. This is a view of sunset. It has an activity room, a fitness center, and a couple of bathrooms, a fireplace, and some lighting. And here's a kind of a precedent image to give you an idea of the quality of that space. This is area we refer to as the backyard. In addition to reducing some of the lawn area, we need to create some shade, some shaded seating. This here, just to the right here, is what we looked at earlier, that patio covered walkway. We're looking to extend structurally like a trellis. We can explore a shading device, but we want to create some shaded seating in the summer heat of hemet, and then replace that existing aluminum shade device with another trellis system that you can see right here. And we'll have some seating underneath. This we wanted to green up the edge of the lake. We talked about earlier of perhaps potentially having those existing pods be planters, and then maybe just have some rock on the sides there. But creating some seat walls, maybe not as much as we're showing here, but some seat walls with some drought-tolerant landscaping. These would all be existing palm trees, and another view of the pool right here. We are being asked to design a new playground area, probably not something that's very bright in primary colors and off the shelf, but something more integral to the landscape and that kids would enjoy, while grandparents can sit in the existing gazebo right there. In the whole park, this thing is located off to the side over here, as you can see. And then just some ideas about the paving or the stamped concrete or the opportunities for for patterns on the ground. And then there's the array of proposed drought-tolerant, of various degrees of drought-tolerant landscaping. There's two buildings. One is the existing buildings. One is the existing pool building, but it's really that ceramic studio. We're proposing to just do some cosmetic improvements, remodeling the restrooms, but otherwise not a whole lot more. And then in the shuffleboard building, again, just cosmetic improvements, nothing on the inside. So with that, we look forward to hearing back from you.